Woo! On today's video, I'm excited. I'm going to do another ocean scene. I haven't done one in a while. And I got this canvas on sale at Joann for 70% off. And I was excited about that too. So, I'm going to start by painting this side with this metallic cobalt blue by Artist Loft. Then I'm going to do white over here, and the white I'm using is a Color Place by Walmart white, and it's a semi-gloss. And it seems to be a really good paint. I'm going to lay out some of this paint here and get to painting on that. And I want to make sure that I'll make sure none of that falls off there. That I get the sides really good. I hope everybody is doing great today. I mean, you're watching painting videos, so you have to be doing awesome. And I'm going to show you the full mix of my paint. I'm not going to skimp. You're going to be able to see how much silicone I use, how much Floetrol I use, how much glue I use, and all that. So you will be able to do your own at home or at work. Do it on your lunch break. Yeah, that'd be good. Awesome. Got one more side here. So I'm not really going all the way to the middle, I guess. I guess that's kind of the middle. I'm contradicting myself again. Notice how I go one way and then I lay it out the other way. So this color I really super love. It dries nice and shiny. It's metallic. It has a lot of amazing properties to it. It owns property. I really didn't have to go up that high with it, but I did. So I'm going to kind of go this way first, and then I'm going to come across this way because I want the painting to be standing up, right? It's a little light over there. I don't want it to be too light. Man, this paint has something on it there. I don't want that on there. Don't want it to be too light. Still some crap on there. Get it to lay out just right. If you do that, then you don't have to come back and mess with it, you know, touch it up later on. So, I didn't even think about that. I'm gonna have to dry off this brush, but that's okay. I have some cloths here to do that with. So now I'm going to go the white. I just keep my white in this container And I'm just gonna put some over there. Whoa. And the white is obviously a lot thinner. I'm gonna have to pull it this way some to get some of that off of there. Because I don't wanna be making too much of a mess here. You know me. I like to be as neat as possible. Uh-oh, got a little of the other color in there. That's not good. Oh no, it might look kind of cool too. Happy accident. Just brush that out in there. So that's it. It's done. Just kidding. So I don't want to put a lot on there. Just enough to cover, because I'm going to have a lot of paint on here regardless. So I'm going to start out with the cobalt blue, this same color here. Let's see, where I have some Floetrol and glue. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to do this all at once, the Floetrol. So you can see this. So I'm going about 2 or 3 parts Floetrol, then about 2 parts glue, and then 1 part paint. And the Floetrol really helps smooth out your whole paint in there, and it works really great. And then the glue helps. It really acts as a binder to for the paint, and I think it helps lay it out too and dry really nice. Because you know how you do a painting sometimes and then you come back an hour later and it totally looks different and you start to cry. I have this back brace on. I have to adjust it here. My bra. So I'm going to go the cobalt blue. And the phthalo green. The metallic blue. I just realized I did the wrong color here. It was supposed to be this dark. Crikeys. That's okay. Oh, I didn't want that in there. Come on. Happy accident, people. Happy accidents. Come on, get in there. That's why I like to wipe a clean edge. That way you don't get as much as going on in there. And then I have some new paint I bought. This is aqua, but it's heavy body acrylic. So I've never used this brand before, Liquitex. Everybody raves about it, so. So now I'm going to mix all these together. A lot of people say I should mix the Floetrol and the glue together first. Well, I forgot that. I am apparently forgetting a lot of things. today. And I'm gonna go some more Floetrol in here because I want this. I'm gonna go a pretty good chunk because I want this to go far. This paint. And Floetrol is not as expensive as paint. It's like $13 for a gallon of it. It's so weird using these little popsicle sticks as opposed to those big craft sticks. So I'm probably better add a little more Floetrol in all these. So maybe about 4 to 5 parts Floetrol there. Sorry, should have done that first. Sometimes you just eyeball stuff. I love the metallics by Artist Loft. They mix so easy. They literally mix right in. And I don't really know why. Maybe it's because they're a little transparent. Now let's see if this Liquitex mixes really good. Wow, that's really light. Wow, it's really a different type of paint. That's for sure. It's got chunks in it. That dog outside, my neighbor's dog, is nuts. That's okay. It's a little lighter, but that's okay. So now, I believe, cobalt white. Okay. So I'm just going to leave the white in its bottle form. And I'm going to... Oh, sheesh. Oh boy, that was almost a big accident. Man, I'm really screwing up today. Everybody deserves one of those days, you know? Okay, so... get those out of the way. Get the white over here. So first we're going to do one on the top and one on the bottom. So first we go aqua. Then white. Then cobalt. Come on. Drippity drop. Oh, man. This is an interesting day. White. Aqua again. Man, I can't. I'm not shaking, am I? So cobalt, white, aqua, white, aqua, white. So we'll go white. Aqua again. White. A lot of rings. A lot of rings. And this is already kind of tilting a little bit. Let's get this over here, because I don't want this to go haywire on me already. White, got that. Cobalt, white, and aqua. I'm gonna put just a hair more in there. Okay, for the bottom, aqua, phthalo green, cobalt black. Oh, I was doing black on here? No, I wasn't. Oh, it should be the dark, this blue. Gosh. Oh, man. I don't know what it is I'm taking, Bobby. Cobalt. Then I should go... Shouldn't I go white in here? I'm going to do a white. You can see these cells starting to pop up. That's really cool. And then I'm going to go aqua. And then white again. Then the phthalo green. Then this color, cobalt. I'm going to have a lot of paint. And then the dark blue. Then I better go the aqua again, because that's kind of the main color. Okay, this is still starting to come this way. Okay, so put all these to the side and get ready for action. So now we'll get all these going. And I might not have enough paint on there. Come on. Get over there, buddy. Uh-oh, I'm getting messy over here. So I'm going to go this way. I really don't have enough paint on there. I was skimping on the paint, because it's taken a really long time to get that over there. But it looks really cool. Oh man, I'm getting paint all over me down there. You can see that. So I'm gonna have to pour some more paint on there. That kind of sucks, because it's gonna change the look of it. Man, this is what happens when you're a total mess. Okay, I'm not gonna swipe it at all. want some of that filled in. And I want to get some of this up here into the white. That wasn't a swipe, that was just a finger. So now I'm gonna let this run off. I'm gonna just dabble with this just a little bit over here, just so it gets a little bit of coverage. What else could go wrong? I mean, like, seriously. Okay, so that looks really cool. I'm not sure I love this blue over here being just open like that. Let's do a little more white in here. I'm gonna get that going. This is the problem when you don't use enough paint. I'm not sure what to do there, unless I can swipe the white just a hair. So I might have to come back and across like that. I don't know. I don't bloody know. So now I'm just gonna load some paint in there and let it go one way or the other. Okay, that's pretty cool. Not really liking this down here. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure that I love it. I'm going to use a lot of paint, get it on there good. I'm going to use a little blue in there. Get some white in there. And do this number. Okay, awesomeness. I just got back from a vacation. So I kind of had the mind block going on. I wasn't able to finish this one as fast as I thought. Plus I had some skin cancer in the last video. I don't know if you saw that. They removed it. Everything was fine. So I was excited about that. Two, I take a lot of pictures. If you guys want to check out some cool pictures, go to my website, carlmazur.com. Things have really been happening there too for me, so I'm excited about that. Okay, I ordered this stuff online from Winsor Newton, and it's called Colorless Art Masking Fluid. So what it does is you put your brush in here, and it's just like liquid rubber. So when you put it across your piece like that, it will dry. If you get paint on it, whatever, it doesn't matter, because you can just kind of peel it off. So that way I'm not getting any paint down here into my good sections. So don't use a really good paintbrush. Do not use a really good paintbrush with this stuff. I had to dig and dig the rubber stuff out of the bristles on this one, which this is a fairly nice brush. It's kind of all I got right now. So I'm gonna pour a little of this in here, just a little bit. And somebody said online, I saw, to put some dish soap on your brush. So let's try it out. Let's see if that works. Let's get it nice and soapy. All kinds of tricks going on. We're gonna do some tricks now. Oh man, I found a new way to pop my back too. That's why I'm feeling so much better. Okay, that might be a little too much dish soap. So let's just kind of wipe it lightly. I'm gonna knock something over. Okay, so now I'm just gonna follow this line right here. And this stuff's really thin, and you think, oh, that's gonna work. So just kind of lightly dab it through there. And I want to come up above the white parts a little bit. I am ambidextrous, so I'm right-handed, but I can paint with my left hand too. Just make sure you get it on the spots that you don't want the paint going over. I just didn't want to ruin this part of the painting because it was real cool. I actually did a lot of touch-up to this painting that I didn't put on camera. It was kind of pissing me off. And I was like, oh, come on. I can't get this right, but you get the picture. You've been there before on that. Especially ones of you that are learning. Try not to get too mad because you'll get it. But every project's different too. Okay, so this stuff should dry pretty quick. I'm gonna go dip this in water. I forgot about that. Okay, I'm back, and check that out. Perfect. Soap trick worked. Don't put too much soap on there because you don't want it gooping up inside of your stuff. So need that to kind of get dried on there a little bit. So while that's drying, and these are my pictures there too. These are all my pictures. That's a place in Nevada. That's really cool. It has like these mud things that goes up. and that's just down the road from us. So I got some white mixed up, and check this out. I got new clear cups so you guys can see what's going on. And these are really cool because they're really like this. So I noticed I can get my paint really accurate. Check that out. You can squeeze them too and get really accurate. So I made my paint really soupy. I mean, look how soupy that is. See that? It's just like real runny. And I want it that way because I want this to be able to run off real fast, because this is going to be like the white beach. So I'm going to do some white sand up there. So I want it to be real runny. All right. This light blue here. Oh, this wasn't very runny at all. Whoa. Squirt water at me. Oh, I didn't put any silicone in that either. So that's fairly runny. I want it just a little bit more. I might do just a little bit more in there too. I just want to make sure that that runs off of there really good. Last time I had it too thick and it was like, and I'm not even sure I like this, but I don't know. For some reason, my eye keeps coming back to it, so that's a good thing. So I'm going to put just a couple of drops. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, and there. And then I'm going to do just a slight stir. Do just a little stir. Just barely at all. That's all you need. Just barely at all. Just give it the Bob Ross treatment. Just a little happy accident going on there. Carl Ross is back, baby. He's back. I'm feeling good, yeah. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and pour a little of this blue on there. Ba-doop, 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 ba-doop. And I'm gonna get this small one out here, and I'm just gonna do that number right there, just like that. Look at that. Just lay a little base coat out there. Wipe it off, let it run down the edge. Wipe it off there. And then I'm gonna do some of this on there and get it out there. Okay, that's right. Okay. For a minute there, I thought I really botched it up, but I didn't. And it doesn't have to be perfect on there because we're not perfectionists. Oh wait, I am. To get that kind of flattened there. So this mix kind of had a lot of glue and Floetrol in it. You can tell it's kind of clear looking, which is okay because I didn't want it too consistent. I want this to be real light. So here goes the white. You can tell the cells are already forming there. And then I think I'm going to take my big swiper here. Well, that looks kind of cool right there. See, I kind of want it to look like a runny down here, but there's a little too much on there right now. Just kind of follow that pattern, and then bam, leave some overflow there. I might not even do the sand. This is awesome. Oh yeah, this is pimp. I'm loving it. Get some overflow there going too. Wipe that off. It's easier to squeeze this one. Rubber down. And then I need to hit it with the gun. Oh, that's looking really cool. Really cool. Let's get some more of that out there. See that silicone really beating up. And this has a lot of glue in it, so it'll dry pretty quick. So I kind of want it to flow a little bit too. I do want it to have that beachy flow. Beachy flow. So I'm going to pour a little more white up here. Just because I want this to be all, whoa, okay. Not that much. But I want this to be all covered. Because I think I'm just going to go ahead and pour that sand on there like it is right here. Get those sides. Okay, now let me grab my little sand pile here. So I cut a little Yoplait yogurt thing out like this. That way you can squeeze it and aim it really good. Just a little here and there. Yeah, just a little bit. Because right there is just going to be where the water kind of washes up there. Now we're going to start to get it a little bit heavier. I can back this truck up here. Because here's where it's going to get heavier. And I want to try and get it on there as even as possible, because you don't want big clumps. So I'm going to kind of bring it like that. And then I'm going to kind of bring the sand over here like that. There we go. try and get these sides the best you can. You know, to get a lot on there, so you don't have to come back and do those sides. The sides can be, take it from me, I've done enough of these type of pours. The sides can be kind of a pain in the butt. And people have told me that I should probably use like a salt shaker and stuff and, you know, do this number. That's not as accurate as doing this. Look at how accurate I can get with that. I can like, whoa, yeah, I'm showing you how to do it wrong. I can pinpoint stuff, you know? That's okay, once that's dry, I'm just gonna flip this sucker up. There's still some over there needs to get done. So I'll come back and fill that in a little bit. I'm loving it. Woo! I took that one down in St. George, Utah. Oh, it's gonna blow the sand around. That's okay. Me got box. It's not really a hair dryer, so I have to be careful. I'm just gonna kind of get that tacky. Let that glue harden up a little bit. That was a really good pour. It's amazing when you feel better, you can do stuff so much faster, so much easier. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Check this out. So it turned out really cool. Let me show you from up above. And let's take a closer look of the sand. So if you can see, the sand kind of does a little curl like that, so it made it look a little bit natural. I still have to do the sides, the sand on the sides. And I like how some of the color bled into the sand. You can tell I got a few black pieces to take out of there. So let's get started on that. Okay, to get started, I have the Mod Podge. This is a gloss sealer, as you can see here. And I'm going to pour a little bit, and this is a heavy thing. I'm going to pour a little bit of it in there. Put the lid on so that doesn't dry up on us. Gonna put some water in there, a little bit of water. That's distilled water. I recommend distilled because I don't know, it works out better than tap water. So I'm gonna mix that around a little bit. I don't have my upper camera, so wipe that on my pants. Great. They already have paint on them. If you paint, you get paint everywhere. So I had to scrape. Let me pull this out here. So I took a razor blade and I took the point end of it and I went and I there were like little tiny pieces in the white sand, which is normal, that were black. So I did not want that on there. So I scraped those out of there, and they were in there pretty tough. So now I'm going to take the little kitty litter box, or the sand box. And I got hair in there too. I must be losing a lot of hair. So I'm going to take it like this, put that over there. I'm going to take my brush and start doing a little Mod Podging over there. And I'm just going to do a little sprinkle job, because I don't want sand to go everywhere. Just a little bit there. Tap that in just a hair. Make sure that sand's in there nice. And I want the sand to be a little deeper back here, a little lighter up here as it starts to go in the water. Tap that off. Now let's do the other side. Sides. I'll do this one over here. This Mod Podge stuff is great because it's a glue and it's a finish coat. I mean, how cool is that? This sand is really easy to work with, I've found. It's not super messy. And I'm putting a pretty good layer of Mod Podge on there, and you want to make sure you get your corners good, even if it has to drip down a little bit. So I'm going to let that drip down just a little bit, because I want the corners to be nice, and or the edges back here, this one, to get a lot of sand on it. Make sure I get that corner there. Now here's the tricky part. I got to stand this up. Stand it up to do this one, so it might have sand bouncing everywhere. I'm trying to be as neat as possible. My office has all kinds of little stuff on it. Just a little bit more right there. Help it down a little bit. I think that did pretty good. I got a little sand here and there. That's no problem. Okay, so now I have, you can't see this on camera, but there's like a little spot there, and there's a little spot where I had a scrape that fell off. So I want to fill that in. I want to make it really look like a beach. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of tap a little in there, tap a little bit in there, like that. And then I'm going to kind of do a build up, like I'm going to follow the beach pattern there a little bit, and then let it just come out lighter. And then over here, it's going to start a little bit different. Man, I wish I had my overhead cam. So in other words, I'm putting on a lot right here to kind of make it look like there's a buildup of sand. You know how sand is kind of, it's not perfectly uniform in all areas. I just want to kind of make it look different. But I don't want to lose the effect of what am I trying to say? The see-through, where you could see through the, you could see the beach foam there. Just a little bit more there. And then I'll show you this. I'll show you this on this camera. This is going to look really cool. Now I wish I had the other camera band. So, just want to tap that down just a little. Look at that, there's a black piece in there. So if you can see that, you see how there's like a little line there? That's kind of how I wanted it. I wanted it to have that real buildup of sand. Not too much, but just enough in there. So it looks like I need to put a little bit more right on these corners. You want to make sure you get the corners, because that way it looks full and nice and covered. Because a lot of times the corners don't get it, and then you have to go back. If you're picky, you'll go back and have to redo it. You just want that nice buildup on there to make it look nice and full. Nice and full going around there. So there we go. So I'm going to let that dry naturally. Whoops, standing out of the camera. So I'm going to let that dry naturally, because you don't want to dry Mod Podge too quick, because it'll kind of, well, I guess if it leaves white pieces in here, it's not that bad. But if you're doing like black sand or something like that, it will leave like white little chunks in there if you dry it too fast. So anyways, I'm doing a little scratching off there. Just take down that straight line there just a little bit, because you don't want too much on there, just a little bit. So I'm in the garage, and I'm going to use a matte. You can see on there it says matte sealer by Patricia Nimix. You can find this on Amazon or even Walmart. Walmart sells it. The reason why I'm doing this is because this sand is so light and it keeps coming off. I don't want the sand to go into this part when I Mod Podge, because then I'll be picking little pieces of sand out here. So what I want to do is spray this pretty good. Get that on there. Get the sides really good, because I don't want that, like I said, I don't want that sand to get, I'm going to have to go across here. I don't know how to do this. Oh, there we go. Smart. Then I'm going to let that dry. Whoops. I'm going to let that dry and put on another coat, just to make sure it's sealed up really nice. And then we're going to go in and do the Mod Podge. Man, I just noticed how messed up my hair was in the last video. Make sure this mic is on right. When I get my hair cut, I have this like cowlick right there, and it, oh man, it frustrates me. Okay, so back in action here. I made sure I covered this Mod Podge so it didn't totally dry up on me while I sprayed this down in the garage. So see, it's nice and tacky now that sand's not moving. So what I should have done is Mod Podge this first, then do the sand, because you get sand in here and you don't want to be picking out little bitty chunks here and there. So anyways, I did it backwards. That's okay. It's been known to happen before. So let me get this up here. So what I'm looking for here is just a really nice, it looks like I might need a lot more of this. I have plenty of Mod Podge though, so don't worry about that, Carl. I mean, I can go ahead and go all the way down, but see, there's little chunks in there, and that's what I don't want, so I'll not do that. And you might find an easier way to do this, but this seriously, this is pretty easy. Just want to make sure I get enough on there, on these sides, because I want the sides really well protected, because they're going to get dinged and things when people move them around or whatever. What's cool about the Mod Podge, when I go to put it on this section down here, I don't even clean it. I wipe it off, but I don't go clean it with the alcohol. The silicone, for some reason, doesn't affect it. And I didn't have to show you this part. I could have just said, oh, I put the sealer on and here's what it looks like. But because some people complain that, dude, your video is way too long. But I like to show all this stuff because that way I don't feel like I'm cheating you out of something that you might have seen, like when I mess up. I'm going to start out on the light parts first. And when I put it on a little bit thinner for this coat, it just goes on a lot better. It soaks into that sand. Because when you try and put it on super thick, straight, it's just really thick and it wants to pull the sand off. And you don't want it to pull the sand off. And after I'm done here, after this dries, I'll show you a close-up of what it looks like here. So there is little pieces of sand all the way out here, but that's okay. There's just water kind of bubbling up and it's looking all nice. So I'm gonna need just a hair more. Water just helps it move around a bit, get soaked in there. Mod Podge is great. It's just one of the greatest things in the world. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, there we go. Saving time. You don't want to get it on too thick, but I always say that. You don't want to get it on too thick as I'm like plastering it on there. if you know me, I always contradict myself. It's part of my ADD. I say something and then I go right back. Do you know people that say, yeah, 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 no, 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 I mean, yeah, but no. And they're always saying, yeah, no. I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm OCD too. Bipolar, ADD, and OCD. And that's enough acronyms for today. Thank you. That's enough acronyms for today. Okay, so let that dry and come back. Put this coat on, let that dry, and then I think after all that's dry, I'm going to put a real glossy sealer coat on the top. I don't know what I was thinking. You should do this all in one. So I washed out my brush and the container, and I already did the sides, and then I'm just going to pull that right into there, not get into the sand, and just let this dry all at once. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm an idiot. But if you like watching my channel, I'm a total hack, I swear. I don't consider myself a professional artist at all. I don't have any formal training, but I think we are all an artist. We're just all on different levels. I mean, that's like photography, you know. I don't even consider myself a photographer, but I had this, he's pretty famous here now. And kind of he's getting famous for his artwork all over the place. His name's Kevin Kehoe. He goes, "Carl, you're a photographer. Trust me, you are." I'm like, okay. But I want to be humble about it. I don't want... When I say I'm a hack, I mean, a lot of times I don't come in prepared because, too, I notice a lot of things change in the art. Like, once you get started, there's so much that changes along the way. You notice how I'm putting this on real thick, just like this, because you want to get it worked into every little groove. And then I'm going to lay it out. Laying it out means you're flattening it out. You're not leaving a bunch of ridges, and you're feathering it in there real nice, just like paint. I got a few little bumps in there from the paint. Okay, now I want to kind of hold it like that so I can see down there, and I'm just going to go like this. Just lay that out real nice. There is another trick you can do to really offset the lighting, and that is do this. Because once you do that, the feather catches all different types of light from different angles. And I kind of like that look too. It's kind of a random look. And there it is. You just want to make sure your edges didn't get too much over on them. Then you want to go down, and you could do that on your edges too. You can kind of do this and then come back and do that into a little bit of spots. Just kind of make it look cool. And that way everything's not always so straight line. This world is so straight line sometimes. We want to just break the rules a little bit, you know? And then you want to make sure you don't have any little sand pieces in there, because once it dries on there, it's hard to get out. You have to like dig it out, and you don't want to ruin the painting. All right, here she is, and I love it. Let me get an upper view first here. So I love how the colors kind of blend in nicely towards the sand there. Like I said, I want to do another one of these. And let me show you, see that feathering in there? See that? That looks really neat. I like how it does that. And then down here towards the end where the sand is, you can see the little piles of sand along the way. Let's see if I can get a good shot of it there. No, the other way. Right in there I think is good. Ooh, hey, it must be Christmas. Alright, this is my 12-foot Christmas tree. It goes up above into here and can't fit a star on top. So here is the finished piece over here. She's all glossed up and I think it turned out great. I think I might even turn it sideways. But I can't hang it like that right now because I don't have the right screws in the wall. But anyways, there it is. Turned out really cool. And see that reflection on there? See how the crisscrossing made it kind of unique? Alright, I hope you love this one. I'm going to do another one with that white sand. It was awesome and it was easy to work with. Bye! I got my iPhone in hand. We're going to do some recording. Oh, shoot. Coming down in 3, 2, 1. Hey, Mom. I'm still in the basement. Achoo! Well, come on. He gets on the YouTubes and he goes to acting like a fool and in a world there was one man. Let's try that again. He's cool. Alright. But it looks like another wave. I wasn't even gonna do a wave. Oh yeah. This thing's gonna be so delicious. You'll be able to shave the sideburns. He's swiping the boygans. Okay, here we go, Charles. Get this shit out of the way. He proved to me he was office rocker. I don't even know what the hell I'm saying now. I keep hitting this thing. Oh, son of a motherless goat. Here's a wave that I thought turned out pretty cheesy. How are you today? It's like totally fluid art, man. I know, I always gotta check. Now if I can get out of here. This bottle of lubricant. Silicone, damn it. And that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. And then I'm gonna pour some paint, a dirty pour. Oh, that wasn't very good. Ooh, okay. 100% lubricant. Silicone, dumbass. Propane heat torches, that is.
Stupidest thing ever.
He doesn't know what he's doing. He's an idiot. Oh, snikes. Hello? Oh, my hand. Come on, man. Okay, got the mic hooked on my shirt properly. That took forever. I can't do this. Uncle Schneider knows. Oops! because that's a helicopter, by the way. He's out of his freaking mind. Cool, cool. Yo, yo, cool, cool. Okay, that was stupid. Oh no, I don't have any more stir sticks.
I mean, seriously.
I'd swipe a little more if I was him. Gotta figure it out. On Carl's wave cast. I always come into the videos not knowing what the heck I'm doing. And maybe people like that, maybe they don't. And I hope this works. What else could go wrong? I mean, like, seriously. That was my stomach. That kind of sucks. Folks, this is what happens when you really screw things up. A quick sand pour. A quick sand pour? Quicksand? Oh, I kill myself sometimes. This is Uncle Schneider. I want to say hi to Bubbles. I must look really stupid right now. Tonight, I wanted to do a painting. Yay! Imagine that. These stupid videos. Whoa, what's that? It's Tiki Man! Tiki Man! What does he say? I think he said to take your medication and go home.
Turn it around.
She's not even swiping. This lady knows how to paint. I like this lady.
I'm really liking, just doing this. I'm really liking what's happening.
What are you still doing here? Go home. Go to your home. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go away now. Get out of here!